Tuesday. I just wanted to go ahead and we'll get started in just a moment. We'll have Chris go over a couple of announcements, and then I will go into Tuesday talk. You probably saw me walk in with a beautiful blonde. That is actually my boss. So, Sherry Robinson, many of you probably have met her. She usually visits our communities quite frequently. So I know some of you have asked, how come corporate never comes to see us? Well, I'm here to tell you, she's here to see you, okay? So we'll go through Tuesday talk, we'll go over, and then I'll give you an opportunity to ask myself or Sherry anything, okay? All right, I'll hand it to you, Chris.
She's not checking up on you?
She might be.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to see everybody's got their name tags and their pendants with them.
Thank you.
Just a quick announcement, maintenance has run into this problem several times where someone puts a cardboard box down the chute. What happens is it catches and it piles up, depending on how much. It could go up a couple of stories, and then they got to pull the box out or jam it through, and then there's a big boom of about half a ton of garbage that hits the cart. So it may not be us, might be a helper, caregiver, family. Just tell them, take the boxes down to the first floor and put it in the carts. There's a cardboard cart, so it'll be recycled, but you can still put it in the trash cart. And Andrea, you have an announcement.
I do. I've got a couple of them, actually. First one is, last week we gave you some surveys for the Activities Committee. If you can get them turned in by the end of today, we're meeting Thursday and we'll start to review them and make decisions based on the information that you gave us, okay? So if you still haven't done it, do it today, drop it off at the front desk, all right? The next thing is that Lindsay told us that we could call the new building over there whatever we want. But we have to agree on it.
That's right.
So, I'm opening up nominations for the big room, the small room, the whole area, however you want to do it. We could, somebody put out Grand Ballroom. I was thinking about Grand Lobby East. There are things we could do, but let's not make it just be New Town Hall by default. If that's what we want to call it, that's great. Let's get some nominations, and then we'll pick the best, the top nominations, and we'll vote so that everybody in the community gets a vote in what we call the New Town Hall, okay? So,
where do we turn the nominations in?
at the front desk. They love me with all this stuff. But drop off nominations at the front desk, and we'll put them together and see what we've got, okay?
Thank you. Yes, so clarify on that. There has been quite a few suggestions, some more passionate about it than others, and I wanted to speak with Chris and have that go through the board and have you guys vote on that. So however Chris and the board want to manage that process, I am completely supportive of. I'm not married to the name Town Hall, but I do want it to be a democracy. I want you guys to be able to choose not just one input from one or two individuals. So I think that's important, if it's important to you, for everyone to partake in that. We don't want to overcomplicate it, right? We don't want to start cutting the room up by small pieces and then there's 4 or 5 new names for the community, but we'll continue to work with Chris and the board to manage that. Okay?
We could try to keep it simple, Town Hall.
While Sherry's here. Sherry's here, she can vote too.
Whatever we name it, it'll be for a long time, I imagine. And back by popular demand, Mr. Carter.
Oh, yes.
He's looking for more 20s. Watch the cord.
Thank you, Chris. As he mentioned, we had a donation last week of $20.
Just one?
I can't tell you how many there were. It's kind of simple. Anyway, by popular demand, we decided to have this over again because of the thousands hundreds, the tens that came last week up to get their plants. They went out pretty well, and we still had some, so we took them all. They're all up now. This is the end of it. So if you haven't got a plant, it's an excellent accent for your lanai. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Except, if you feel up to it, those of you that took plants last week, maybe you brought back $1 or $2. Anyway, Kitty's
He's fundraising, guys. Give him some money.
fundraising. Kitty's watching everything that goes on around here. So, anyway, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Actually, he was at loss for words. That's very strange. That's all we have this morning.
Thank you, guys, and I'll go ahead and take it from here. We'll kind of roll into some updates for the community, and like I said, we can have any questions for myself or my boss lady if you'd like. So, first and foremost, our resident services. Leslie wanted me to remind everyone that our on-site dermatology, Amanda Floyd, the PA, will be out on an extended medical leave. They are in the process of obtaining another provider in her place. So just keep in mind that particular individual will be out. We'll communicate once we get a better idea of when they are returning, but we are working with them to get you a provider in place. We are still, I mentioned last Tuesday talk, Leslie will be departing. She is seeking a different venture in her new future endeavors. And so we are currently actively recruiting for her position. We don't have anyone in particular in mind just yet. We are still in the early stages of recruiting, but her last day is going to be May 12th. So we'll still make sure you have all your services. We have about 330 associates, so we'll make sure that we strategically manage our team to be able to meet your needs ongoing while she's departed. Couple more. The Bob Evans hearing, new times are every Thursday from 9:30 to 11 by appointment only, and then from 11 to 12 they are accepting walk-ins. So usually all insurances are accepted, so please just keep that in mind, that the 9:30 to 10 is appointment and 11 to 12 is walk-in. IHS wanted me to mention they have an estate sale actually going on right now to about 12:30 in A510. Again, from 9 to 12:30, and she did mention it's cash only. So just keep that in mind, but you got some time. It goes till 12:30 today. Couple of updates. I know we mentioned this last week, but anybody who did not catch it, we wanted to make sure to remind you. Our employee of the month was Diego Hernandez Lara, our dining supervisor. And just to give you a head count, we actually do have 335 total full-time employees here at the community, and we hired 30 new employees in April. It's a lot, isn't it? Okay, last call for shredding. Once the shred bins are full in the lobbies, they will be removed. They've been here for a month or two now, so we are going to be sending them back. So if there's any last items you need, please get those in. Betsy, when exactly were we sending those back?
I was going to do it by the end of the week.
Okay, so by the end of the week. So anything else you have to clean out, any paper you want to get rid of, we'll get those in the shred bins, and that will be by the end of the week. Those are in both of the lobbies. Additional COVID updates. We do not have any COVID positive residents. We did have a small COVID incident in assisted living and a couple of our employees, but none of our IL residents. So you guys are doing a great job of keeping safe, washing your hands, and keeping COVID out of the community, on this side at least. Couple of housekeeping updates. Evan wanted me to let you know they are performing a safety checklist for the laundry areas. He did put comment cards in all of your boxes, so if you hadn't received one, please make sure you call his extension. We are wanting to make sure we continue focusing on our services and our resident satisfaction, so he did get those in your boxes. If you didn't get one, again, extension 508, or you can email and we can make sure that you do. Focuses for the week, they are doing the Regency Room. We are having a corporate event in there today, but they will be focused on cleaning that area, the north private dining, the north and south elevators, and detailing the back of the house in the south building. Couple updates from Ricky and Food and Beverage. This Friday they're doing another pop-up from 4 to 5 p.m. in the Breezeway, and it is Build Your Own Taco Bar, and he says we'll be doing it rain or shine, so make sure that you're there. I know Betsy and I really enjoyed the pop-up on Friday. You guys had some beautiful photos of us. Not really, but I actually sent that to Sherry and told her how wonderful you guys were with our beautiful, very, very beautiful photos. So, but we'll be there again. More updates from dining. The new gourmet cycle is actually going to start May 17th. It will continue every other week for the 3 months. And the main entree is cold water lobster. So Ricky's pretty excited about that. So we'd love for you to partake in any of our gourmets. They're always amazing. I've been to most of them since I've started here. And the food's always phenomenal, and they always do a great job. So if you didn't go before, now we have lobster. So we'd love for you to join. Okay, the fun and exciting construction timelines. So I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit on some of these action items because we're not making as much movement as I would like. We are almost ready to open the relax space, the massage, acupuncture, and hydro massage. The relax space pod actually does need internet, and so they need to come out and install a hard line in there. So they'll be cutting out some walls, installing the line, and we should be able to get in there in the next couple of weeks. So I know some people have asked, when will that area be opened? No, it's very new to Regency Oaks, but just another small delay in that area. But we'll get that going in the next couple of weeks. We are still awaiting, the AV equipment. They are still saying it's back order, and we still do not have an exact date. So I'm really going to try to see what I can do on my end to at least get some ETA of some sort. I haven't been able to get that thus far, but I will try to work on that to have something a little bit more concrete, at least a month. The town hall projection screen and projector, it actually should be completed this week. They came out Friday. It's AV specialists. They came out Friday, but they weren't able to finish. They had to get some additional parts, and they will be back sometime. I know, isn't it funny? That's what I do all day, guys. So they will be back sometime this week, is from what they said. So I tried to get a concrete time. I called them. It was supposed to be yesterday. It was not. Shocker, shocker. So sometime next week. At this point, Sherry, we all just laugh. I mean, this is how long it's been. Okay. Additional, the breezeways and sprinklers, we're making really great progress on those actually. Piper Fire has been fantastic with that process. So about a couple more weeks, we needed the city to approve some final drawings, and they should be done out there in those areas. Fitness center, still waiting on that Fitness Smith, trying to pin them down to get them out here, I know. And so they're basically going to be fixing the balance wall. So I know that has not been operating since we opened that area. So we are trying to get them out so we can get that area addressed. We do have the 2 pieces of equipment that have those parts ordered, and they are still needing to install the towel drop there for your towels. So the only last minute item on our end is we are trying to get Spectrum out so we can get those TVs on. There's 3 TVs in the fitness center, and they should be cable, so we are trying to work with Spectrum to get those up. Base stage and lighting are coming out. We are still working out the details for the theater lighting, so that is still in process. And we are probably in the next few weeks, hopefully, just kind of working out the logistics, the drawings, and what those look like, because they're obviously going to be in our beautiful town hall, so we want them to also be aesthetically pleasing, and of course the logistics of them functioning as theater lights. So still working with the professional consultant on that, and we'll communicate as we get closer. Couple more project updates from the blue team. They have completed all of our corridors, and they now are working on phase 3 apartments, that is, installing the cabinets. I know I've mentioned this, but we have chosen the main lobby in paint, and I have photos that I've kept in place in case you missed it last week, so you can get an idea of what that looks like. We will begin painting the north lobby, but closer to when we install the carpet. It didn't make a lot of sense for us to paint now when we're not installing the carpet till August. So we will be doing that north lobby area, and we have not received the carpet samples yet. So as soon as I get them, Mrs. Bobby, where's she at? Where'd she go? There she is. As soon as I get them, you'll be the first. We are still waiting on those to come in. I wanted to give some sales updates. So we have such a fantastic ambassador program, and a lot of our residents are so active in bringing new residents to our community. So for April, we had 3 new residents, 3 closes. In May, we're on track with 5 deposits. So I know In the Know with RO was something we did in the past, and we've recently brought that back. That has really been great. I know a lot of the residents are enjoying that. So thank you to everyone who's participated in that. And as well as our ambassadors, you guys do such a great job of being fantastic advocates for our community that we've been able to get all of these deposits and these move-ins. So thank you all for your participation and contribution to that process. Just a couple events from sales. May 9th, we're doing a downsizing lunch seminar. May 16th, a Mother's Day brunch. May 18th, the Friendship Lunch Table in the North Dining. May 23rd, Signature Club at Brick and Vine. And then May 25th is the Friends and Family Bring a Friend to Memorial Day pop-up in the Breezeway from 1 to 2 for National Wine Day. So we'll be there for that. Sherry, you're more than welcome to bring your wine with us. Okay, so again, Town Hall grand opening. Like I mentioned, we do have the temporary certificate of occupancy. We have been cleared to be in the building, and we do have our final fire. We have begun planning the grand opening event. We actually met as a team on Friday and worked out all of the details. We just need to confirm a date with Sherry and Jill Sorensen. So we would love for them to partake in the event. So once we get their schedule, we're going to get a date and more details and a formal invitation to come for that. So we're really excited. We want to do it really big and really beautiful. So we have a lot of fantastic things planned. We'll get you a date and we'll get that information to you. Another exciting thing Ginger was very excited about, we all probably are, Zelko is doing his first exercise classes in there. Did you attend?
Yes.
How was it? You liked it? Yeah. Good, good. We're happy to be in that area, and I know he was very happy to be in there utilizing it. So today was the first day we were in the town hall as a community being able to use our brand new space. So thank you again, Sherry and Life Care and Health Peak and all of you that's been so patient in that process. I know it's, I've been here 3 months, and I know that that's been quite a process. I know. Okay, just a couple follow-ups. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have an LCS HR training today from about 8:30 to 5 in the Regency room. So our internal HR team is actually there in that training. If you need them for anything, they will get back to you, but they will be in that training the majority of the day. We have Sherry Robinson, as I mentioned, and Amy Wall visiting today. Sherry will participate in our Tuesday talk, and then she will meet with Chris in the private dining room here at about 11:30. And then whoever you had wanted, Chris. Just kind of an FYI, I always like to tell you when we do have visitors here on site, we do have some of the Peak Asset Management team coming next week. They're meeting with Blue Team just to review the fire claim. So these are not our typical Peak partners. These are different entities that are kind of managing the fire claim. And so they're coming out specifically to meet with Blue Team so they can really dive into that, all the logistics and data behind that. We are deep cleaning the gastropub rugs, so if you see them, they're not missing. We're just deep cleaning them, so we'll get those back out. The little white cow was getting a little brown, so we wanted to make sure we got those cleaned. We are working on that handicap door on the salon. I know that our door system is antiquated. We are working on that. I see you laughing. We're working on that. That will be quite a large project at some point, but we are trying to get that door back, and Darwin is waiting on the bid for the handicap mechanism. So we'll continue getting that door open for you, but right now it is not fully functioning, and we are working on it. We are obtaining bids for window cleaning, so Evan is working on getting additional bids to get all of the exterior windows cleaned. So it is kind of our process to get multiple bids from vendors, so he is in that process and that is slated. So we'll have more information once we have finalized who that is and when that will be. Darwin just wanted me to mention, we do have some boiler repairs that are coming up, and we will have an intermittent water shut off in the north building. We don't have an exact date, but we will communicate before that occurs. It should not be too long, maybe an hour or two, but just kind of a heads up FYI that's coming in the next week or so in the north building, and that'll be an intermittent water. Okay. Like I mentioned, just in case you hadn't seen it last week, these are some of the carpet samples. The actual color is a little off on the screen, but this is for the north main lobby. These are for some of the insets, and then I know we've showed kind of what the corridors look like, all of you that are in the north building and that are anxiously awaiting. It's absolutely beautiful. I have some of the papers and some of the samples in my office if you ever want to stop by, and we are anxiously waiting those other samples so we can really see it in person. But it's going to be beautiful, and I just wanted to share it again in case you hadn't seen it. Okay. Couple updates for this week's events and activities. Tuesday the 2nd at 2 p.m. we have the Meant to Be with Rosalind Franken, Story of Survival here in Grand Lobby South. Wednesday, May 3rd, 3 p.m., Great Decisions, Grand Lobby South. Wednesday, May 3rd at 7 p.m., Regency Oaks Dance Night, Grand Lobby South. Friday, May 5th at 10 a.m., we are doing our forum, so we'll, of course, hold it in here. Friday, May 5th is 1 p.m. is a Derby Day in Town Hall, where you bet on your favorite jockeys, and I was told that my team and I will be riding horses apparently for you. Not quite what I had in mind for Derby, but I'm your girl if that's what we're doing. Okay. I saw them, they're beautiful horses.
They are. Get the one with the tutu.
That's right, I need the one with the tutu. And then Friday, May 5th, I heard it's been a blast and a really big hit, but at 7:15 is karaoke night. So I think, is that the same day that's National Wine Day? That might make for an interesting karaoke. And that's Grand Lobby South as well.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's right, and Cinco de Mayo, that's right. So I'm sure we'll have a big event for that as well, and food and beverage will be. But I know that's the pop-up. Just a reminder to please sign up for the trips, and the updates are at the north and the south tables. All right, that is all I have for you. It wasn't too much, was it? Oh, yes, ma'am.
I just have a question. You mentioned something about downsizing, and I missed what that was about.
So there's a sales seminar. I'll have to go back and look at the exact date, but it is about downsizing.
May 9th.
May 9th.
Yeah.
Okay.
The organization?
The sales team. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Those are the sales team's events. Yep. I just like to share those because a lot of our residents are very active with that. Well, we're moving into questions. Yes, ma'am.
Is the window cleaning, will that include lanai, or what windows are you thinking about having be a part of it?
So they are going to be cleaning all the exterior windows of the community. So not the inside, but all of the exterior windows. Next question?
Those people who
Oh.
walk the streets,
She's bringing you the mic.
the people who take walking around here on the street, evidently we're going to have some update to the street. I don't know what's going on.
Are you referring to the walking path?
No, I'm talking about the street themselves. They've been covering up the drains and.
Yes. So we had mentioned that. That was something that had changed. In CapEx, they were hoping to have the full street repairs, including the extended walking path. That was not capable of being done. They are simply going through and repairing certain areas of the street per our lender. That's the work. Yep, absolutely. Next question? Oh, right here.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
How are you?
I don't know if this belongs here, but I was a patient at Sylvan in June
Okay.
when I had a stroke. And there was no chairs in the room. And so I told my husband to go out and hunt for one, and he found one.
Okay.
But we were two patients, and there was always visitors. And now I have been over there visiting with people who are sick, and there still are only one or no chairs in each room. And we have so many chairs here that we are giving away.
Sure.
Can we give some over there? For
Sure, absolutely. So I'll definitely follow up with Kyle, our healthcare administrator. We usually should have at least one chair in there, but we can most certainly have any chairs that you need for those rooms.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, next question? Yes, ma'am. He's getting there. He's on his way.
I have a question about the bath towels and hand towels.
Okay.
Eat it. Anyway, the north building was supposed to get the new towels. I think every week, if I get one of the newer towels, that's about it. Where are they all?
Well, I do not know, but let me follow up with Evan and find out what's going on with that. So you are getting towels, you're just not getting new towels. You're getting new towels? So it's just you. Okay, I'll follow up with Evan and I'll see what's going on. And it's mostly in the north building? Okay. Absolutely. I'll see what's going on with that. Writing everything in my book.
Lindsay, I have a question for you. Over here.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
I've heard that they're changing the locks in the storage room. Is that correct or not?
Well, that depends on what you're referring to. We did have an unfortunate incident with Blue Team and some of our subcontractors that cut the locks off in our storage rooms. And we have ordered new locks for those, and we're addressing that. So is that what you're referring to? Yeah. Thanks for bringing that back up.
And that did not affect the
Yes, right here. This question was asked once before, but I'm going to ask it again. I had a scary episode this morning. One of the lanes, as we know, has been parked on for quite a while. So what should be a 2-lane road is a 1-lane road. And so that my dog and I are walking on facing traffic, and all of a sudden here comes looked like a rather young person, but flying around that corner, saw us at the last second. And not only did he have to brake really hard, we had to jump into the grass in case his brakes didn't stop him. I don't know how that got started, but that seems out of hand. Why a 2-lane road is now a 1-lane road, and so doesn't make sense.
No, absolutely, and we've mentioned that. Unfortunately, given our current situation, as we all know, we have lots of contractors, construction subcontractors, so that has bogged up our parking. But I will most certainly get something out there so we can at minimum address that particular area.
I just have a quick question. With respect to the lockers, has anything been stolen or just cut off?
Not that I'm aware of, no. There was a lot of disorganization and a little bit of damage, but there's nothing particularly that I'm aware of that's been missing. No, it was supposed to be a scheduled routine incident that Blue Team was addressing just a portion of the storage. There was some miscommunication with that third party. They went in and cut off every lock on the storages. So yes, just more Blue Team fun with our restoration process. But no, it wasn't something like a vandalism or burglary incident.
And it was just in the north.
And it was just in the north. Yes, Mr. Mickey.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a problem with the insects. We have a problem with the insects, flying insects.
Okay.
I have called exterminators, actually leaving the orders with Denise 4 different times. And every morning and every night, I take a big kitchen towel and try to chase them and kill it. But
Okay.
it's almost enough. Should be done.
Okay,
And I forced it the first time, my first month here, so it's been a while.
okay, okay.
One other minor thing. I spoke at last week's meeting, suggesting that we need to make decisions regarding pianos. I have taken upon myself to make an ad hoc committee. Can you hear me now? Okay, so that we are going to be moving piano, and majority of people who are in that, and that's not board-long committee, but an ad hoc committee, just interview and ask people what they think. We have ended up with 3-2, meaning that this piano stays here, and the other one that is hidden in there goes to town hall when that's ready.
Okay. We are not prepared to move in that direction yet. I actually will work with the design team, Mrs. Bobby, and the board on that. Yeah, we have a little bit more information that I need to follow up with Chris and Mrs. Bobby, and then I can follow up as exactly next steps for that. Okay.
Can we talk about the water pressure on the 5th floor in this building? It's very poor, and I might have to wait in the morning 2 or 3 minutes to get even warm water.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, that is the first I've heard of that, but I'll follow up with Darwin. We'll get you some answers.
It's an ongoing for 30 years.
For 30 years?
It works in the north.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, let's see what we can figure out this year, huh?
Lindsay,
Hi, Bill.
hello. I certainly don't mean this to be argumentative. I'd like to go back to Carrie's comment.
Okay.
And this guy standing next to me spent God knows how many weeks talking about parking.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate your comment about the number of contractors being on site. But there is staff that continuously parks on the North Road.
Okay.
Staff is there on Sunday morning as I go to church. There aren't any contractors there. There are signs out there that says, "Don't park on the grass." So it would seem to me, perhaps Steve may want to add, but it seemed to me that a strong statement from management, by being a general contractor, would say, there's plenty of parking, folks, on the West 40. That's an asphalt jungle out there. And there needs to be some enforcement by management to stop the parking on the North Road. Now, uniquely, it's the only road in the entire campus that people park on.
I can most certainly do that. I'll get one out this week.
Yeah, I mean, just remove the signs and have enforcement. No parking.
Yeah, we can most certainly get additional signs. I know we do have some. I can most certainly address my team and the vendors.
Thank you.
As much as possible. Okay. Hi, Roger. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Well, I'm here every Tuesday. Good to have you here.
Thank you. The third floor laundry room, there's a utility sink up there, and unfortunately it's being used by maintenance people, either ours or the outsiders. And it's gotten clogged up, it's got paint, putty, everything on the bottom of the sink. And eventually that washes into the pipes, at least in part. We need to have somebody go up there and do a thorough cleaning and make it look better than it does.
I would put in a work order. I'll take care of it. We'll make sure to get that. I'll get with Darwin and we'll make sure. And like I've mentioned to you guys before, these type of things don't have to wait for Tuesday talk. Darwin has his meetings every week, and one week he had 2 or 3 people show up. So if these are concerns, we most certainly want to communicate them, put in a work order, meet with the front desk, and go to our maintenance meetings with Darwin. But we'll most certainly, I'm putting that in my book, as you know, and we'll get that taken care of. I'll follow up with the team. Anything else?
Yes, I don't know how many speed limit signs we have on the road around. I walk it a lot, I should know. But there ought to be more, and I don't know, what is it, 11 miles an hour? There are people that come in here, especially on this front, and go left, right, that are just flying, and something's got to be done about that. I don't know what.
Nope, I agree. I'll most certainly get with the team and see what additional measures we can put in place. I know we do have speed limits, but we'll see what else we can do, whether that be speed bumps, whether that be more signs. I can most certainly send a letter to my team as well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very quickly.
Hello.
Okay. The problem with the cardboard down the chutes is a problem. And you've talked to us, and those of us who might have been errant will be a little more better.
Thank you.
Great English, wasn't it? However, we're not getting to the people who probably are the biggest offenders, and these are the aides.
Okay.
There's not, I would appreciate anything you could do to make sure every aide has been told and agrees that they'll do what they're supposed to with it. Some do, some don't.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We can most certainly address that with the team.
Okay, I had a question. Is there a projected date for when the Tuesday talk will be put into the new town hall?
We're hoping for next week.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're hoping for next week. Yes, Mr. Bader, I see you back there.
You get a microphone back.
Oh.
I can speak up. I usually do with the Solinaires, you know. But anyway, is there any chance we might get to have, is there any chance we might get to have a capital budget still this year?
Again, I'm sorry, but the message does remain. We are finalizing exactly what will go towards the north building. There's not too many of the projects, unfortunately, that will be done in 2023, but we were hoping for a much better opportunity in 2024. So once we have an idea, we will most certainly give you exactly what that looks like, but we already discussed what we weren't doing, which was almost most of some of those items.
What is the criteria for the decision-making as to decide what services are going to be done by outside contractors and what is done in-house? Is there a general criteria to decide that?
Sherry, maybe that's something you can help me with. I know in general it just kind of depends on the size of the project. Do you have something specific?
Well, you know, say whether it's plumbing or electrician or painting or what, how do you decide what's done outside versus in-house?
Yeah, so unit turns, by the way, hello, good morning. I'm Sherry. I've met many of you. So happy to be here, and I want to say quickly, I hope you're enjoying having Lindsay here as much as I'm enjoying it. So I heard her about 3 years ago in Texas, and I never thought I would sit in this room and see her here in Clearwater, but I'm thrilled.
Here we are.
I'm thrilled. Here we are together again. Like a bad penny, I just keep showing up. So for like unit turns, so let's go there. If, you know, for new move-ins, when people move out, we're trying to move in. That's all done by contractors. So we have a contract company who turns all of those units. When specifically to like a maintenance project, we have people on site who are certified to do certain things, as you likely know. And then there are projects that we do not have certified people to do. And so in the case of plumbing or an electrical project or something like that, we may have to, because of code and making sure that we're doing the right thing the right way, we may have to pull in a contractor to do something specifically if it has to do with building code. So no specific criteria. We try to hire HVAC folks who are certified to handle Freon and that sort of thing in the community. Those people are not always available to us. So it just depends on the project and whether or not we have a certified person to do that project. Does that make sense?
Next specialty and size.
Right, yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sherry.
Sure.
Did I hear correctly that Friday, the horse race is going to be in the new town hall?
It is. We already have the grids and the horses. It'll be my first.
No, I mean the activity
That's
at
right.
town hall.
Yes.
Will be the first time for all of us coming over.
Isn't that exciting?
It's all set
up. Yeah, it's all set up. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Well, there are donuts back there. We wanted to sweeten you up so you behaved in front of my boss. Just kidding. Any other questions?
More question over here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd like to say a little bit about the plants that are up here. Ron Carter is, as you know, the master gardener, ably assisted by Chris. And thanks to Regency Oaks for making that space available and providing a modest amount of funding each year. But really, donations help. I try to do as much two-handed helping as I can. Last week I made a donation and promptly gave the flowers away to someone. And today I'd like to make another donation, but Ron, it's an IOU. You're across the hall from me and I know you'll collect. Where's your kitty? Here's your kitty. But I would encourage anybody. I know Ron spends probably 30 or more hours a week down there making this amenity, which is entirely resident driven, a pleasure for everyone to enjoy. I know marketing takes people there when they're considering becoming residents because it's an outstanding statement about Regency Oaks. So all of that's appreciated, but I know Ron appreciates a little extra funding, and I will pay the IOU, and I will take a few plants. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, guys, if you have nothing else, have a beautiful Tuesday. We'll see you in with our new town hall. One more? Yes, sir.
Still there?
I'm still here.
Sounds like we're going to do a good job at reducing the speed limit to 11 miles per hour, which it's supposed to. And we're also supposed to remind people not to turn their phone on in the middle of a meeting. That's a problem for people in Arcadia.
Well, thank you very much for that. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much. Let me know if you need anything.